Let me see you try.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. Fingers crossed. We are here once again. It is the people's Mr. Young.
And the corporate forum, but this time it's not a corporate fall. This one.
You see, that's why you need the corporate money to get the corporate equipment. Instead of relying on the people, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's good to sell out. Bro, I think it's time for Mr. Young to sell out as well, bro.
Bro, it's time for Mr. Young to get the connections and foreign to get the contacts. We gotta get someone to sponsor our podcast and make it look like a professional film. We are like Renegades ECW, bro. What's going on?
I know, right? Hey, but it's good to see everybody once again. Rishi, Tovakin, welcome back. Hopefully we'll get everybody to join us back again. Ashman, what's up?
Oh my god.
As we're gonna have a little bit of fun today. There is no like huge pay-per-view or premium live event that's coming up soon, right? But there are a lot of talking points, as there usually are. And where do we even start? Okay, first things first though, we want to say we appreciate each and every one of you. If ever you want to come and discuss wrestling with your fellow wrestling fam, you can always head on over to our Discord. Link is in the description right there. Join us on Discord. And if you want to take your support for the podcast to the next level, you can always consider a Patreon donation.
Yeah, man. I think got a shout out to Fast Gay. I think our most recent Patreon signee. We got a couple of fun things there. Me sharing a lot of my Sportskeeda articles. If there's any fun tidbits, any contest, which we just did a couple of weeks ago for AEW, we'll probably share it there first as well. So I hope you guys find some value over there.
Sir Hus has a very good point. You know what Sir Hus said?
What you say, bro?
When you talk bad of AEW week in, week out, this is what you get. Tony Khan is effing with us, bro.
I knew it. So Tony Khan is the one that causing all of this problem, bro?
That's right. He's quietly like, okay, anytime anybody says anything bad about AEW, wow, send the bots. Bro, this is some like, crazy deep state AI bullshit, man.
Bro, you know what? You gotta have another big reason to cancel this podcast, bro, with what we're gonna be discussing today.
well, how do you know? Maybe I only have good things to say about.
Come on, Mr. Young. Come on. We know your track record, bro.
Okay, here's the thing. I can't talk bad about AEW if I've stopped watching AEW altogether.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. To be fair, though, I have paid attention to some of the recent happenings on AEW, especially on Collision, which it's the more palatable show at this point, even though the ratings don't bear it out. Unfortunately, it's in a dead zone, and we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. Just this past Sunday alone, we had like 5 shows happening at the same time all around pro wrestling.
Yeah.
We don't even have the time to talk about like the G1 climax we just started.
Sure.
Impact had Slammiversary. I know all this is like mid-level things for you. But like for some reason, like I feel like the WWE might be like the leader, but the wrestling industry as a whole has been thriving, bro, especially this year.
Well, I mean, the saying goes, right? The high tide raises all boats. I think there is a boon in wrestling. There's an renewed interest, because WWE is doing so well. And okay, you know what? Call me a Triple H nut hugger all you want, but I mean, god dang, man, like WWE, legitimately, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT have been just watchable content. Okay, it's not always good. And okay, to be fair, when it's bad, we've called it out to be bad, right? But recently, it's just been like 75% good. Let's just put it that way. Okay, for every LA Knight, for every, all of a sudden the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley getting together. For everything that's cool, there's still the Valhalla and the Maxine Dupree shenanigans, and even that has its own audience, am I right?
Yeah, I would dare say it is entertaining in I would say like in a loop, right? On its own, I think you can objectively say, okay, I know some people who might find this goofy stuff fun, but it doesn't permeate the entire product like how WWE used to be under Vince McMahon, where everything was goofy.
Correct. So you have like really solid stuff. You have some goofy stuff. It's like a circus. But the bottom line, I feel, what WWE, what makes it work right now, everything got standard.
I agree.
There is a baseline. Everybody's trained well. Nobody's taking unwarranted risk. I mean, for goodness sakes, Ricochet has a program. And of all people, Logan Paul. You know what I mean? Like Logan Paul, you would think like, oh, he's only ever going to be in the world title scene, some sort of like major money feud. Like they are actually actively pushing Ricochet in 2023. Who would have thought? I mean, I'm pretty sure we wrote off Ricochet already.
I would argue, right? I think Logan Paul got some rub, bro. I think maybe he's the one pushing for this. So it's like, you know what? I can do crazy shit with this Ricochet guy.
Yep.
Come on, let's do a program. I think that might be the reason, why he's being pushed.
And it even fits Logan Paul's like character because he's impulsive. He will do crazy shit, right? And Ricochet is the guy that can hang with him.
Yeah. You know what? It's a great segue into one of the topics we wanted to discuss. Of course, we'll talk about AEW I think later on in the podcast. But let's start with some good vibes, right? Because like a few weeks ago, Triple H, Papa H just hit 1 year in charge of WWE Creative. And that, I think, is a great time to kind of look back at some of his decisions. Overall, what do you think, Mr. Young, of Triple H in charge?
I mean, what I've just said in the past 15 minutes says it all, kind of. Like, everything is watchable. From top to bottom, there is something for some... And it's nothing groany. It's nothing like, Like, even like Jason says, the Maxine segments are over. I mean, Maxine is hot, lah. That's the reason why,
Are you sure it's not because of Otis, bro? Otis is hot.
Oh, yeah, well, Otis with the, woo! But anyway, yeah, Papa H booking in full effect, and... It's like that black and gold NXT vibe. And talking about NXT, right? Did you watch the Braun Breaker Ilya Dragunov match that everyone's been talking about?
Yes, last week, right? It was on last week's NXT, right?
Bro, yes. Like, I had stopped watching NXT, you know this, right? And then people were just raving about this match, so I finally watched that episode. I was like, not only was the whole episode kind of watchable, but I mean, there was some green, but I mean, this is their developmental, it makes sense, right? But that match was like, honestly, that match was better than anything AEW has put out in recent times.
I would dare say, I'm not surprised because it's Ilya Dragunov, but what surprised me was that Braun Breaker could hang. I think Braun Breaker is getting seasoned really well.
Yes, I mean, he fits that heel vibe very well now. And it's a good thing they didn't bring him to the main roster to try to be a babyface, right? There's like, no, you stay here one more year, you work on your heel. And it's worked. Like, he's getting so comfortable in his skin. His promo was, I mean, it was a bit scripted, but he still delivers it because he has the intensity, right? And then you have Ilya Dragunov, who I think he's been working on his English. He sounds better in his promo, right?
Okay.
And when he gets beat up, he is, I mean, okay, look, let's be real. He's never going to be world champion. And even if he does, it's going to be like that Daniel Bryan vibe, like that Rey Mysterio underdog vibe, right? But you could foreseeably see him as this like upper mid-card guy or even lower main event guy who's like, he got chance because this fella just won't give up. Because when he gets his ass beat, you see his face, I believe it. I believe that this guy will do any crazy shit to get it done.
Bro, imagine, bro. Him and Butch in a steel cage, lock them up, let's let them kill each other.
Just any of these permutations makes my skin tingle in a good way. I feel like, okay, you want to compare him to somebody in AEW that might have the same vibe, I would give it to, say, maybe Darby Allin. But Darby Allin's more like I'm a daredevil vibe, right? But to me, Ilya is like way more built. Like he's lean. He looks more lean, I guess. Like Darby Allin is just a skinny boy, lah. But I would say Ilya Dragunov is definitely one for the future as well. Like he really impressed me in that match. It was hard hitting, bro.
I would say, like, if I give him a zombie comparison, he's like the zombie from World War Z, bro, like or Kingdom, bro. They're just crazy ravagers and like which kind of vibe, and your little doggo also agrees, I believe.
Yes, Chelsea absolutely agrees. Ilya Dragunov is the man right now. So that match alone, and it wasn't even the main event. I mean, that match was the best match of the whole night. It wasn't the main event,
Yeah, and I wanted to turn back to the topic of Triple H being in charge. Right? I think this is a perfect example of if this was Vince McMahon, this Braun Breaker would have been on the main roster floundering already, trying to do the John Cena thing.
He would be on the main roster wearing pink color, don't know what bullshit. And then Ilya Dragunov will be there also, like doing some weird foreigner gimmick, some Joker,
Yeah, but Triple H knows, right? He might be like physically ready, but maybe he needs to season more. Like he needs to have better matches, and he wouldn't be able to do it like away from the spotlight if he wasn't still in NXT. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great decision keeping him for another year for sure.
Even the women's division is interesting. Now you got Bianca in there with Charlotte gunning for Asuka, and then Io Shirai and Bailey are sort of by the side, like, hello, I have the briefcase. Like all of a sudden there are contenders. Whereas a few months ago, there was like, you remember we were complaining like nothing's going on. It seems very flat.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, we need to give a shout out to Bailey. Apparently, she was recently injured in a house show.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I do not know whether it's serious or not. They threw up the X sign and all that. So if that happens, I do not know whether it will affect Io Sky. It also might be a blessing if Io Sky gets to stand on her own,
Sure.
and then starts a feud all inbuilt by the time she returns. So I think it's good news all along. And one thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to Triple H's booking, right? Do you realize everyone is getting over at the same time?
Yes, that's the big key. The big issue that WWE had for the longest time was you had 2 stars and that's it, right? But right now, as we see, like literally, okay, with the exception of Austin Theory, for whatever reason, Theory is just kind of flatlined a little bit. And I don't mean like, oh, he's on the downward, like he's already on a very high level, right? Being US champion and everything, but he's been very quiet recently, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Talking about that, we can always praise Triple H, but there have been some duds, right?
Sure,
Let's be honest. Some things that didn't. He tried to pull the trigger or tried to push, he couldn't do well. Sir, who's brought up a great point. Braun would be like Karrion Kross right now. Karrion Kross, bro. What happened to this fella, bro?
I know. I think it's a Karrion Kross problem more than anything, And right now, it doesn't help that he's in there with AJ and the Bullet Club. I mean, not Bullet Club, the OC, whatever, right? Like it's like they're trying to do something, but AJ has been quite cold recently as well.
I agree.
Luke Gallows and the other fella, what was his name already? Shit, I can't even remember their name.
Carl Anderson,
the Machine Gun.
Yes.
Yeah, what have they done recently? Mia Yim is like, who, what, non-existent, right? So that whole faction is kind of flat as well. So to have AJ go up against Karrion, I'm like, meh, okay lah.
There are a couple of names I think on top of that like has disappointed, even though Triple H definitely believes in them, is talents. The best one, Hit Row, bro.
Oh.
Do you see the Hit Row untelevised segment they did with LA Knight? Do you see that one?
Did what happened? What happened?
Okay, so that was in Madison Square Garden, I think like 2 weeks back. And the if I'm not wrong, that whole show LA Knight didn't appear on camera at all,
right?
But then WWE uploaded a YouTube of their segment before the show, and bro, Hit Row right went out there, tried to do some heel lines, but they completely performed to dead silence.
No.
And then it was the worst.
What?
I think Flop Dollar was saying like, bro, he was like saying like, the only rings the New York Knicks will have is here, only in this ring, blah blah blah, and then the crowd was so silent, but then BFAB and at the back, Adonis Creed was like, yeah, talk to them. It's fucking awkward, bro. Fucking awkward. And then the best part is like 10 seconds in, suddenly LA Knight's music played and the crowd erupted. Suddenly the Hit Row was the biggest heels there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Only because of LA Knight.
Exactly. So I feel like, quite sad.
Look, we all know that Swerve was sort of like the charisma of that group. And the rest of them, they're a great supporting act. Like Adonis, I don't know anything about him other than the fact that he has a name that doesn't fit him. BFAB is cool. She has a look. In-ring work, I'm not sure. And Flop Dollar is Flop Dollar. So
I think they need another year in NXT. I mean, maybe they might be one of the hotter acts in NXT if they kind of recapture some of that form.
But look, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? Like even Papa H will make mistakes here and there. It's just that whether he is like gonna be like Tony Khan, stick to his guns. No, I'm gonna push this guy down our throats. I think Triple H is quite self-aware enough to be like, okay, maybe we need to take them away for a bit. Hopefully repackage them, see what's up.
Yeah, and of course, like Hit Row, for every Hit Row we have like an LA Knight, right? People who get over organically, and I almost feel like Triple H, right, is smart enough to know that yes, LA Knight is getting over. Everyone wants him to push to the moon, but I think he wants the audience to get behind him even more. That's why they're delayed gratification, right?
Bro, that's why he's the game, man. That's why he's the game. He's a student of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like if it was Chris Jericho in this position, I
Oh.
think probably Triple H will be feuding with LA Knight right now, bro. Confirm.
Oh, stop it, bro. Don't even get me started. Okay, so that's the WWE stuff. Is there anything else we want to bring up? Like we're gonna
Uh,
start off on a positive note, are we?
yeah. We are okay. Like just a bit more about WWE. So of course, I think one thing we didn't manage to talk about when we were on break last week was the tribal chief, the
Oh,
trial of the tribal chief. I know it's like a week plus, but I
bro.
need to say this, bro. Like I believe Jey Uso is gonna be the biggest babyface going into SummerSlam.
Sure. Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's definitely going that way. And once again, I will defer to you when I said no way he's gonna be the main event of SummerSlam. Like they are starting to make me believe, right? And like freaking like the drama, bro. Did you see Roman crying,
Oh,
all tears coming
bro.
down? This is cinema.
Bro, Channel 8 drama, bro.
Bro,
Like, really,
better,
bro.
better than Channel. I would argue that Roman Reigns can act better than Taping Hui, bro.
Oh dear, wow, that's high praise, man. Even better than taping quick. Okay. No, but if
I
you
never knew you
realize,
had I never knew you had such high regard for Taping Hui's acting skills.
hey, bro, I watched him in Channel 5 and I don't know what drama. Like, there was this one drama, he was a doctor or something, right? Well, do you remember this?
No. I have standards, bro. Clearly one of us has standards.
Bro, I support local lah, bro. I mean, maybe that's why lah. Okay, that's not
Ah,
the point. We are going
okay,
on a tangent.
so this
We're going on a
explains
tangent,
why
yes.
foreign can watch AEW and I cannot. So I actually got standards, man.
Bro, we are clear. I have more patience. Okay, that's not the point. The point is right. That segment started
Yeah.
off SmackDown, and it went almost 40 minutes. It almost went the entire hour, and it's just them talking, right? And there
Yeah.
was like commercial breaks in between,
Yeah.
and apparently that segment hit almost 4 million views during that quarter, bro.
Wow. I
So
mean,
the segment peaked. Like they started at 2 million, and then everyone know, oh shit, the bloodline is starting. And
yeah,
like
yeah.
during the climax or the apex of that segment, freaking double, bro. So what does that say about the bloodline? What does that say about Roman Reigns?
Sure. By the way, I would like to point out a very funny comment made by Jason. Foreign being populist, you populist.
What? hey, people say popular like a bad thing. Popular is a good thing, bro. You
Bro,
champion the lower common people, bro.
you don't know the joke, ah. You don't know what happened, ah.
I know,
Oh,
bro.
okay. I was wondering, like,
Okay, first of all, Monday office tea, bro. Very
Oh.
hot, bro.
Bro, can we take 1 second, just a complete
Okay.
sidetrack? And obviously, I cannot jump into this. Is very political, and I still work for a public radio station, right? So I
Yeah,
can't weigh in on this. But how into Singapore politics is everyone? Suddenly, everyone's talking about parliament.
Okay lah, bro. I'm not on public radio, so I can say what I want. No, just kidding. Bro, I tell you the memes, bro. Like, I don't know whether you follow this Instagram page called YOLO SG, right? They suddenly put all of the pictures of all the politicians together and it says Singapore Social Season 2.
Yes, that's damn funny.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bro, what a start, man.
Bro, forget about the effing populist thing. Now it's like adultery, like freaking affair. Like, oh my god, what is going on?
I saw another meme. Bro. It's Oprah was like, you got dirt on me, I got dirt on you, everyone got dirt on you, and then like pointing to all the different political parties.
Oh boy. Okay. So who says Paul Heyman better than Zoe Tay? That one I agree. I mean, Paul Heyman, we all know, like, he's a gem in the wrestling industry in terms of, like, not just a wrestling mind and promoter and a booker, whatever, but also as a on-screen character. The dude can promote anything, lah.
I agree, bro. That guy, someone was making a joke about how this guy confirm got guns now from holding the two belts.
Oh, yeah.
40 minutes holding the two belts.
Hey.
Yeah.
Remember when I said that if they go and freaking create one belt for Roman, they should still hold the other two belts just to make it look good? And see, Paul Heyman knows what's up, like visually it looks good. But yeah, now Paul Heyman has carried 3 belts around. Like, what the heck, bro?
Poor guy lah. But I think that the unsung hero of this whole storyline, I would say, bro, Jey Uso is such a natural, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he's not acting per se, he really talks like that,
Mm-mm-mm.
but you connect with him so well. I don't know what is it about
Yeah.
his everyman vibe. Like he's like that. Nobody expect him to be the tribal chief, but not
Yeah.
everyone wants him to be the guy. Bro, I have nothing bad but great things to say about this storyline, bro.
I dare say, taking away
Mm.
Jimmy was a good thing. Let Jay be himself and cut those promos that he cut when he was doing the whole main event Jay Uso thing, right? And Solo has played his part. I
Yep.
mean, is it weird to say that Solo is sort of like quote unquote? I feel like Solo and Jimmy are sort of like the two very side characters in this whole situation.
Yeah, but I almost want them to delve into those characters because it's like, hey, imagine if they somehow do a retrospective of Solo, you
Oh,
know, I think there's still stories that they can be told. It's like, for example, Solo needs to be a Mandalorian, have his own season, bro. You
bro,
know?
bro, still got till next March WrestleMania. Got time, bro. Got time. After SummerSlam, you need more stories. And we keep thinking, oh, there's no way they can milk this bloodline anymore. And somehow they keep milking the bloodline story.
Bro, they haven't even introduced new characters yet, bro. You know how big their family is. I
Yes.
I don't know whether you saw on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
The son of Umaga just debuted in wrestling, Zila Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy looked like he can join the bloodline already, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's exciting times lah, especially on the WWE front. And okay,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there's exciting stuff happening on AEW's front as well, which we shall get to.
Yes, we shall. We shall. One last thing I think about the
Okay,
blind,
go
just to
ahead.
wrap it up, right? While Mr. Young is busy talking to his doggos,
I'm just closing the
the
door because the dog keeps going in and out.
uh he wants to hear a bit of the bloodline. That's the story, bro. The Rikishi, bro, Rikishi, because
Yeah.
Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso have said in an interview with Ariel Helwani
Mm.
that what they want to do, and I don't think this is spoilers. I think this is what they want. I don't know whether the storyline will go towards that,
Mm.
but they said that their dream is to have a WrestleMania match one-on-one between the both of them, Rikishi as the referee or part of the storyline. So I
Sure.
feel, say for example, this whole Jimmy or Jay trying to go for the title, like, ends up bust, and like Roman goes on to Cody Rhodes Part 2, right?
Yeah.
There is an argument that Jimmy and Jay could go do their own like brother versus brother storyline, and then they bring in the family. I would still say it's fine. Like there's
Right.
stories to be told there as well.
Oh, but this would mean Jimmy will side with Roman again, or would they face off and not because of Roman? Like I don't know.
I don't know, because clearly people like Jay more as
Yep.
as of now. Jay is like the Jeff Hardy of the group, bro. He's a slightly younger brother. Everyone likes him more. Jimmy is like the level-headed one.
Bro, so what? You want to another twist? Jimmy turns heel again and goes after Jay after.
Would-
Wow,
Bro,
Piang.
would you even be surprised at this point, bro?
You know what? I wouldn't. Anything to continue a good storyline. But it's just like, it's that whole like, at some point, it will get stale and annoying already. It's like any good TV show, right? The first 3 seasons great. Then after that, season 4 is like, wow, them jialat. So when will we hit the proverbial season 4, season 5 of the Bloodline storyline? We'll have to wait and see.
We have to wait and see. And I would compare it. I know, Mr. Young, this is around your era. Bret Hart and Owen Hart had a long rivalry from 94 all the way to 97, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and then they finally like join forces, start the the Hart Foundation, blah blah blah. This storyline has gone on longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
So they have managed to catch our attention for 3.5 years.
Yep.
In a world where our attention span is so short.
Yeah.
So I trust them.
Okay, well, we'll
all
have
we gotta
to
say.
wait. We'll have to wait and see. All right, let's get down to the juicy business. See what I did there? Juice, because they can't do no juicing no more. I find this hilarious, by the way, bro. Hilarious. And, okay, very quickly. Let me save my joke for later. But because I just want to bring up what's happening on Collision, which I've paid a little bit of attention to. Willow Nightingale winning the Owen Hart tournament. CM Punk putting Ricky Starks over. CM Punk doing the right thing.
For sure. And I'm not even surprised. And I kind of sense that they're going to try to turn Ricky Starks back heel based on the finish. Do you see that?
Or could it be a CM Punk turns heel, Ricky becomes like a beloved babyface, and they continue their feud, and CM Punk really makes Ricky Starks? Because technically they hadn't had a program. This is a tournament, right? And I feel like they could build off this as, you got a fluke win, you cheated, blah, 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 and then CM Punk becomes super bitter. And, people have been booing him anyway, so I feel like they want to lean, or he would want to lean into that to make Ricky Starks. I feel like just losing one match isn't gonna make Ricky Starks. Like, it's definitely given him a push, right? But,
everything you say makes sense, bro. Like, I would agree with you wholeheartedly, but two things caught my eye during the match that like put some doubts in like where they're going with it. First of all, Ricky Starks, let's be honest, cheated to win because he used the ropes.
Yeah, but it's a very Owen Hart thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Homage, bro, homage.
So that was number one. I was like, oh, okay, very cheeky. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But then the second thing, this is very obvious. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Did you see poor Jushin Thunder Liger, bro?
Right. Yeah.
So did the guy just fly all the way from Japan to Canada just to present the cup, and then the cup rip away from him, and that's it?
Bro, I don't know what's up with that. Like, hey, it's Tony Khan money. He'll pay you to come down even if your role is like 1 minute long.
Bro, I want that Jushin Thunder Liger rock contract, bro. Like, just pay me to fly to Canada, wear a suit for 1 minute in front of national television, and then get a payday. Why not, bro?
What? I mean, then you would have to have the body of work that Jushin Thunder Liger has had first, bro. That one got to build, bro. You can't just ask for that.
Bro, I don't have the body of work, but I do have a body lah. But I don't know what work is then.
It's a piece of work, bro. It's a piece of work. So, okay, I would concede to that as well. I mean, either way, I think Ricky Starks works in terms of like, whether he's a heel or a face anyway. But the point is that he gets the rub, right?
Yeah, I think it's cool. And I like how, and this is talking as a CM Punk fan, right? Like, CM Punk knows that heel turn is coming. Like, he needs to eventually turn, because every day, the longer he spends in the ring, the more people hate him.
well, okay. Yeah. To be fair, it's only because a certain group have poisoned the well to that audience. If it weren't for the shenanigans of the elite, I don't think that he would be booed at all.
Yeah, I agree. But it just exposes the kind of tribalism within AEW. It's not even AEW versus WWE anymore.
No.
It's like the elite versus the rest of, all, and everyone's caught in the middle. So
the flippy shit, bullshit, Dave Meltzer, teeth-sucking sycophants versus the actual professional money-drawing wrestlers. Let's just call a spade here.
Oh, dear God. Speaking of which, did you watch the interview Chris Van Vliet did with Dave Meltzer?
I did not watch the interview in full. I will go and do so when I have time. But yes, everybody should go and catch that interview, because kudos to Chris, who has been a guest on this show before. Just the nicest guy. We talked about him a little bit on the last podcast, right?
Yep.
Like, he tried to be as polite to Dave as possible while still pushing him on the bullshit of his bullshit nature of his rating system.
Bro, it's really killing him with kindness, bro. The one that made me laugh my ass off was like, so it's clear that you give 5 stars to the matches that you enjoy. It's clear that you enjoy New Japan because you gave him like 80 plus stars, and you gave WWE 9. And then he's like, and then he's like gulping.
So basically he admitted like he likes a certain style, which is the quote unquote New Japan style, the elite style. So so I mean, then it is what it is.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate, because he did try to explain why he likes New Japan style a bit more, and he said something along the lines of like, he feels that the New Japan wrestlers work harder to build their matches to a certain climax, and they don't go down the predictability route, and that's why he enjoyed it. So that's his argument. I'm just putting it out there.
To be fair, that's a catch-all, right? Like, not every match is going to be like that. Like, you're going to have some good, some bad, blah, 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 right? But I don't want to offend the New Japan fans in the house, because I don't watch enough New Japan, so I just won't even say anything. But I definitely watch AEW, and either they're doing a piss poor job of copying that style or whatever it is. But like, throwing everything against the wall, kicking out of super finishers is not unpredictability. It's just video game wrestling. It's not realistic. You know?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like people might argue that, oh, okay, everyone should be entitled to their own opinion. Wrestling should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
subjective, right? This is their style. I enjoy this style. Okay, fine, right? But
But
then,
the big
yeah,
problem is this new crop of wrestlers are wrestling to impress Dave Meltzer. For better or for worse, he's become the quote unquote the standard bearer. Or you want a Dave Meltzer five-star match, and these kids are killing themselves doing this shit, doing stuff that probably will never draw them money.
yeah, okay, that's a great point, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just one guy's opinion, and he did admit it in the podcast, saying
Yep.
that this is his recommendation of matches that you should go out of your way to watch. Okay, so he says that according to him, he likes it. Okay, that's fair. That's his point of
Yeah,
view.
sure.
But right now, if you are creating and making matches based on catering to that, I want to get that 5 star, get that
Yeah.
5 stars. Then what about the people in the audience? What about
Cor-
the fans watching at home?
Yeah, yeah.
Are
And
you trying to sell to them?
yeah, he doesn't care about them because look, let's be real. He sees himself as one step above. He's never going to be like quote unquote a mark for WWE programming, right? Because he thinks he's atas. You know how it is. They're like in every facet of life, you have those who just want to be. Oh, you watch this common stuff. I show you. I watch Japanese stuff better. Like you know what I mean? Like you drink tap water. I drink sparkling water. Do you know like that's the vibe I get from him. Like
Oh, yeah.
I know better. I view a different style, and therefore, quote unquote, this is what I think wrestling should be. Like, okay, and meanwhile, he's given the flippity floppity boys like how many goddamn stars. And telling people, oh, this is the style you should emulate. You want 7 stars, you do like a Indie Taker 550 jalapeno off the whatever balcony bullshit.
Well, I'll give you that perfect example, right? If somebody asks you, okay, give me your top 5 matches. And then if you say like, oh, all your top 5 is like from WWE, then they will look at you like, oh, okay, WWE fan, whatever,
Yeah,
fanboy, right?
Right.
But then if you throw in Okada versus Will Ospreay,
Clearly, you are a learned fella. Clearly,
then suddenly
you.
I know El Vikingo from Triple A.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
are. You're a man of culture, you are, I see. Like, there's
Correct.
air of. I don't want to. It's not. Well, maybe it is. For some people, it is. An air of like arrogance. I watch something you don't watch because you are mid.
Okay,
you know?
to be fair, I mean that girl that said like the greatest match of all time was Melina versus Alicia
Okay, what-
Fox. Like,
Say, hey, she's entitled to her own opinion. Maybe that match changed her life, right?
maybe lah, but I know Stone Cold's reaction was the same as
Like-
most of us.
Meltzer said a 4-star is as good as a 5-star. Yeah, I know. Like he's like a 4 3/4 is just as good as a 5. Only it's like, look, we all know the difference is whether you're friends with them or not. It's so obvious. It's not even funny.
Yeah, bro, there's a difference between just the tip and going all the way in, bro. There's a huge difference, bro.
Bro, you mean and the example that always gets brought up because it's such a clear example. Kurt Angle has never had a 5-star match. Stop
Bullshit,
it. Just stop it. Even not in WWE. You don't like WWE TNA. Like Chris Van Vliet brought that up in the interview. Like he's had banger matches with Samoa Joe. And not a single one of those matches in his portfolio is a 5-star match. Meanwhile, Kenny, who is great at what he does, but like he's had like how many more? Come on.
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels got 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
The Rock and Hogan got 3.5 stars.
3.5, yeah.
Right? It's clear between 1997 to 2011, Dave Meltzer anti-WWE. Like, this is bullshit.
Correct.
I don't like.
Correct.
Yeah,
Well, and also WWE don't cater to him. Don't give him access. That's the thing. That's the thing about being a wrestling journalist, right? Tony Khan is like feeding the teat, like giving them so much access. And that's obviously a conflict of interest, is it not? He's never going to be not biased because he gets unfettered access to the Young Bucks. And CM Punk is like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Then he like, spread rumors. Like, oh, come on lah.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Grinder just said rated R foreign. Let's just ignore what I said. But you know what? To be fair, let's also be objective here. Like, of course, you don't want to lose the access to the people in the industry. Yeah, you want to build connection, right? I mean,
Sure,
here
I get it.
on here on Kick to the Gut, we review, SPW and Grapple Max, right? We try to be very honest as much as we can, but we also want to be respectful. We're not gonna like shit on them just for the sake of shitting on them. But
well, okay. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like you need to be judging things based on what they are. Like if I take my quote unquote big production WWE AEW standards and apply it to local wrestling, then everything will be a 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Like it's a different scale, and you got to be honest about that as well, right? It's like, I go to a local event and they were walking down wooden steps instead of steel steps minus half star. No, what?
No.
That
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's still subjective, and I think you know what our opinions are subjective as well. If you disagree, if you say, "Hey, you guys are just anti AEW, you all suck," I'm like, "Hey, that's just our opinion. You got a problem? Then okay lah."
Okay.
That's
Okay. Don't be a effing populist. No, or be a effing I don't care. You be whatever you want to be. Just don't cheat on your wife. And then become national scandal, bro.
I'll be circling back to that topic. Okay, we gotta stay on track. Yes, AEW.
And if you are going to have extramarital affair, don't be bodo and go outdoors and caress people's hand.
Aiyo,
stupid,
bro.
This fella stupid. Macam like this, you know what? They're macam like a WWE backstage skit, when they film other people and then they are like romancing each other.
Bro. GTV, bro.
GTV!
This is what it is.
Bro, you know what it is? I'm going to throw a Marvel quote. They are Skrulls, bro. Okay, anyway. They are Skrulls. Anyway, let's talk about AEW and how they recently enacted a safety protocol. Right, this is the joke. Right before Blood and Guts. I'm like, wow. Brilliant timing, you guys.
Bro, is this confirmed or not confirmed, bro? Or
is what
just
confirmed?
A rumor? Is the fact that they've announced these safety protocols, has it been officially implemented or they are discussing it?
I don't know. They did send out these safety protocols to the wrestlers, banning certain moves and actions. How strictly they'll be enforced, I don't know. But knowing Tony Khan and his buddy relationship with everybody, do you think he'll be like, you did this, I'm going to fine you? I don't think so. He'll be like, okay, don't do it again. Next time, don't do it again. Like, you know what I mean? I don't see him as a enforcing leader.
I agree. And also, I feel like this will just piss John Moxley off so much he'll just bang his head against the wall and start bleeding.
Well, okay. well, let's... Oh my God. Did you... There is an interview out there of John Moxley talking about his reason for bleeding and his artistry. Let's not even get into that.
Sports Illustrated, I read.
That one, another mind-blowing, this guy needs to take a chill.
I love him in WWE. I love him with Renee. But this guy that I seeing right now in AEW, I don't know him, bro.
Tony Khan is an enabler. He's let John Moxley do whatever he wants to do to his own detriment. You know what I mean? Some people are just like that. I think we all know that person in our lives. You give them too much leeway, they will self-destruct. But if you give them boundaries, they're okay. They're good. They're useful, contributing people.
Yeah, It's like that friend of yours that is cheating on the partner or fucking around with other girls, right?
Yeah.
And then because you're just one of the boys, you just keep quiet. You're just okay, his life, do what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
but you know he's wrong. Yeah, but he's screwing his life up.
Yeah, but you don't want to call him out on it,
Don't. It boils down once again. It boils down to our good friend. I'm very scared of saying bad thing. Every time I say bad thing, my equipment fails or something like that. He's listening, bro. He's listening. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the list. AEW's list of banned moves and actions, okay? Are you ready?
Yes,
this is just hilarious considering how much of this shit goes on. On the random Dynamite also have Rampage also they do this, okay? Chair shots to the head. Direct chair shot to the head. I mean, okay. Wasn't the first big angle coming out of AEW the chair shot heard around the world? Shawn Spears to Cody?
Yes.
Right? No more chair shots to the head. That's a very WWE thing, by the way. Also, chair shots to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chair shots to the back.
Makes sense, right? You want to prevent concussions, right? Buckle bombs, another concussion safety protocol right there. Because it's the back of the head to the buckle. Moves where a wrestler falls backward into a turnbuckle. So basically, they don't want you blindly falling onto a turnbuckle where you could hit your head and get concussed.
Which I feel like a lot of AEW wrestlers' moves are dead, right?
Yep. I mean, it's
Right.
going to be very interesting to see how they police this. And all their wrestlers are going to be very awkward in the ring. Like, oh shit, we just anyhow, and now we actually have to do it, right? Actually, are we going to see just really awkward matches in the next couple of months where they're like, we better do this properly, and then they all start being very like, tentative with each other.
Let's be honest here, Collision won't be affected at all.
No, because Collision actually has trained wrestlers, yes.
This is just gonna be a Dynamite issue, bro. It's gonna be very funny to see.
Dynamite. Oh, suddenly I want to watch Dark and Elevation because all these indie fellas, they'll be like blur, sotong, like, I don't know how to do it. Okay.
There's no more Dark and Elevation, just to be clear.
Oh, they cancelled those shows?
Bro, they discontinued both of them, bro.
Oh, well, I mean, oh well, boo-hoo. Imitating concussion or seizure symptoms while selling a move. Oh, so you cannot fake a concussion.
You cannot do this.
Really? So, I don't understand the whole, like, imitating. Like, what, concussions are real and therefore should be respected, so you cannot fake a concussion?
Perhaps I see their logic, or maybe like they don't want them to act out the effects of a concussion. Like sometimes they have seizures, or
right.
like yeah.
Why? I get the whole safety is important, but why not from a storyline perspective? At some point, maybe you want somebody to fake a concussion. Like this says to me, you can't even fake a concussion.
Yeah, I get it. The argument that you should do it maybe like for a storyline purpose that might be interesting and all that. But maybe they just want to make it clear that they don't want to portray such a serious thing on air. I can respect that.
I wonder if it has to do with shareholders and them wanting to look like a legitimate sport. Like this seems, I don't know, that very line seems very corporate to me. Like, you know what I mean?
I got a question for you. Like in UFC, right? Wouldn't like, whatever direct blows they have to the head like causes concussion and it's normal?
Well, a concussion is essentially a knockout, right? It's a knockout. Yeah, it's normal. Agreed. Yeah.
But like they don't downplay like they concussion and they say, oh yeah, they might have a concussion,
Yeah, it's a knockout, whatever. Then the doctors will come in, stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like maybe they want to make it a thing where you could never fake, so there's never a situation where somebody is concussed and not and faking it. Like so, it's like the boy who cried wolf, right? So if you are always faking concussion, then you don't know what's real, what's not real anymore. And they want everything to always be real in terms of the brain concussion.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a bad move per se. But again, how are we going to enforce it? That's the question.
Okay, the next one. You ready for this?
Yes.
Spitting. No spitting, bro. COVID. Hey, COVID over, then you ban spitting. What?
Spitting? When have this spat in AEW? I feel like I've never seen that.
Like, disrespectful heels spit at the faces sometimes. I can't remember a recent obvious example of spitting, but
probably I feel like MJF has done it before. I just think that he might have, yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's a disease, obviously, like, waterborne disease issue lah. And the next one, this is John Moxley's favorite one. Bleeding while in the crowd. So, no more anarchy in the arena. You can't bleed while you're in the crowd.
So let's be clear here. You can still bleed in AEW, but you can bleed in the crowd?
Right, because you don't... This all, honestly, like I said, this all seems like to protect shareholders. Like, we don't want to be liable if, like, blood gets on a fan and then, they get sick or whatever, we get sued.
Well, yeah, then that just affects anarchy in the arena or any match that causes them to go to the crowd, right?
But bro, they go to the crowd all the time. That's the big issue with AEW. They have no rules. They don't care on, right?
Yeah. I mean, but here maybe they are listening to all the critics and they are trying to enforce some rules. So I don't see this as a bad thing. I'm very entertained by the possibility of them trying to enforce it.
No, exactly. Like, safety is always number one. It should always be paramount. And, it's good that they're coming out with this, right? But yeah, exactly. It's, how are they going to enforce it knowing their track record? And how long till all these indie-rific guys just quit or they are forced to do these things and, well, they won't know how to do it because they're not trained properly, right? Like like you said, this is a dynamite problem, not so much a collision problem anymore. Using weapons or projectiles in the crowd.
Wait. So you
So
can't
no more
throw a
fighting into the
chair?
crowd. Huh?
Like you said, no projectiles in the crowd, right?
Yeah, no using weapons. So you can't take like a baseball bat and beat somebody while you're in the crowd.
Then no chair shots in the crowd or what? Not.
I guess. And to that as well, throwing anything with blood on it into the crowd also cannot.
Okay.
Yeah. Taking food and drinks from fans in the crowd.
Okay. So hangman's drinking beer from the crowd is like no go anymore.
No, cannot. And making contact with fans in the crowd.
You can't touch a fan in the crowd?
Yeah, I guess. They can touch you, but you can't touch them, I guess. Like, you know, they can pat you on the back, that kind of stuff, but yeah, you can't touch them.
Okay. Wait, does that mean they can't take popcorn from a fan's mouth and eat it? Or like if the fan offer a drink, you can't do it?
No,
anything?
cannot. Or like, you know, MJF will take people's drink and pour on them.
Yeah. Or like, what about taking their signs and tearing it out and throwing back at them? Not counted?
I don't know. I'm sure that there are going to be like, extenuating circumstances. Like, by and large, if you watch WWE, when a heel takes something from a fan, tears their stuff up, it's usually a plant, right? Like,
yeah.
In AEW, for whatever reason, they still want to preserve the realness, or even though they're doing the most fake shit ever, they seem to, like MJF and people like that, they seem to just like, okay, like whatever, just grab things, throw at people, their drinks, so... Yeah.
Oh well, it's weird that they're enforcing it at this time after so many years. I don't know.
So what? John Moxley will not come in from the parking lot anymore through the crowd?
Maybe Tony Khan is just protecting John Moxley. He's like, you know what? This is my top star. He's always bleeding. Can we just give him a break? Maybe that's it.
Can you imagine? He is just so scared of talking to John Moxley. Instead of just talking to him and telling him to stop doing it, he enact like this whole list of rules in the hopes that John Moxley will follow the rules.
John Moxley is going to get so angry, he's going to go to Japan and skewer his head every single time.
Oh my god.
Because he can't do it on his home promotion, right? So go to Japan do it lah.
Bro, he just go back to CCW or whatever lah, where he can do this bullshit, you know?
I don't know.
Okay. So there are also a list of moves and actions that require pre-approval. So this one still can do, but you must get approval first. I will just very quickly mention, good luck. Spots and bumps on the ring apron and outside. Table, ladders, chair spots in and out of the ring. Only allowed with padding. Any elevated spots outside of the barricades, like dives and ladder spots, you know, around the arena and stage stuff.
Wait, so if they want to do a dive, they need to ask permission?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Pile driver, tombstone variations, including sit-down drivers, inverted poison, hurricane rana, and vertebreakers, all must ask permission.
Does that mean every time Young Bucks want to do a match, they must ask permission? Because their finisher is a Meltzer driver. Right?
Yeah. Bro, everything on this list is Young Bucks rule. It's a Young Bucks thing. So, if anything, they probably like, can we just do our regular match? Okay, can boom, go. You know? So
what is CM Punk politicking at the backstage telling Tony Khan, hey, these rules I want all these rules enacted or else I won't be in this company. What do you think?
Maybe it could be, right? And then like now the Young Bucks are like, wow, basket, we actually have to wrestle properly. Hey, who knows? The Young Bucks might completely surprise everybody, all of a sudden become great like in-ring performers and stuff like that. You never know, you know. They might show us a thing or two. Like, okay, fine, we can't do our gimmick shit. Let's actually be wrestlers for once.
Well, the day that happens is the day we'll be watching it and praising it, sure.
I'll be a fan that day. High-risk dives or top rope moves like 450, 630, double moonsaults, shooting star press. All must get pre-approval.
Bro, it's gonna be a long line outside Tony Khan's room, bro, before every show.
Okay lah, got officials, and I'm pretty sure it's a blank. Like some wrestlers will have blanket cover. I'm pretty sure the Young Bucks have a blanket cover. Oh, these are moves we do all the time. Can we do? Okay, fine. And then they don't have to ask permission again. You know. Here we go. Intentional bleeding of any sort, not just blading.
So this is a game changer right here, right?
Yeah. This one needs pre-approval. So is John Moxley every match gonna ask, boss, can I blade? Can I get juice? Can I make this real?
Okay, actually, I like this a lot because, going forward, if John Moxley bleeds every single match, right, you know it's not his problem, it's not his fault.
Tony Khan. Yeah.
Tony Khan's
Oh,
allowing it.
Also, you know what this means as well, right? This
What?
might actually be a play to make it so that not everyone gets to do the same damn thing in a certain pay-per-view. Remember
Yeah,
we talked
for
about
sure.
remember we talked about how like the problem with a lot of their pay-per-views is like before you even hit halfway, everyone's done everything already. People have jumped off the top rope, fight in the crowd, jumped off ladders. So by the time the main event happened, like boring already. Yeah, like everything has been done. So in a lot of ways, this could be their way of policing that. Say, okay, we know that the main event is going to do a ladder spot. You all cannot do ladder spots. No, we do not approve your ladder spot for this pay-per-view. I think
It should be. It should be, right? Don't
Yes,
you think
and-
so.
We've talked about this ad nauseum, and I think this is a good idea.
Yeah, because back in the day, right, like only the main event could do all the crazy spots, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like there's always this thing where wrestlers make sure they don't take each other's finisher.
Yeah.
That's like a sign of disrespect.
Yeah,
Or like for example, the main event says, okay, if I'm gonna bleed, if I'm gonna do like a table spot, no one else
yep.
under the card can do that. I think
Correct.
that should be a great return to that tradition because
Yeah.
it's so much better for the audience to watch the show and enjoy it if that's the way.
Exactly. New Japan could learn from this as well. No throwing or pre-approval, throwing people in through over ring steps, commentary table, bell table, or guardrails barricades.
It's over them. So that means you throw them over the
Oh,
step, but not landing on
No,
the table.
into, through, over, all. So
I
basically,
see.
shenanigans on ringside lah. No, this is great. This is really great. So you don't have jobbers destroying commentary tables.
What I see this, right, bro, overarching, right, it's like
Mm.
basically there's more corporate structure backstage. Like you can't just go out and do a match and do an indie, like, 360 match. You literally have to ask permission for every single thing.
Correct. Weapon usage, chairs, pipes, candlesticks, hammers, ring bells, bats, chains, title belts, thumbtacks, skewers, barbed wire, any sharp puncturing
Skewers.
objects, sprays or liquids, all must get prior approval. Throwing of weapons like chairs, you cannot anyhow throw chairs at people. So choking or strangling with hands or weapon hanging spot. You cannot do that.
Okay.
WWE has that as well. Remember, Daniel Bryan got into trouble because he choked somebody. Was
Yeah.
it Josh Matthews with his tie?
No, Justin Roberts.
Justin Roberts. Yeah, so there you go. Injury spots or angles, whether or not medical is involved. You cannot fake an injury unless it is part of the pre-approved, narrative.
Okay, cool. So
No.
that means they can't do an injury like in the match, like pretend to be injured.
Yeah, if they didn't approve it or is part of the storyline. No, I see all this as a great way to make sure the same shit doesn't get repeated on the same broadcast over and over again. So it's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Some might see it as, you're restricting me, but no, it's for the good of the entire show. So that if there's already an injury spot at the last match, you don't dilute it by having an injury spot in the middle match, right?
There's this one quote that Kurt Angle said on his podcast, which I think is really great. He was approached to sign for AEW, right? And he turned it down. I mean, other than the normal reasons because he's busy or he's like too old and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He said that he felt that AEW was too much of a Wild Wild West operation.
Yeah.
And if you gonna consider yourself as a number 2 top company in North America, I think there should be a semblance of professionalism. Like it should be like a major league kind of, rules.
Yeah, and maybe this is that step forward. And this could be what makes AEW competitive. I mean, they're never going to reach that level, not for a while, but at least this is a step forward. It's kind of like, okay, you know what this seems like to me? Do you remember the early days of UFC?
Yes, of course.
Do you literally their whole gimmick was no rules, no holds barred. You could have small guys fight big guys and then punching people in the balls. Was it Keith Hackney punching Joe San in the balls repeatedly? That was like a thing. And then when they finally cleaned it up and had the unified MMA rules, they made it a legit, quote unquote, legit sport. I'm not saying that pro wrestling needs to be looked at as that way, but at least you're right. It does make it look more professional. It looks like a company that, corporates can be happy to represent, as opposed to this wild, wild west that we've been seeing for the past couple of years.
Yeah, and I feel that if there is a place you want to do Wild Wild West, but it shouldn't be on the national stage. That should be like a promotion, like one of the lower end promotions where you're working your way through. Fine, whatever, right?
Yeah. Or like, you could do like your lights out matches, your crazy cage matches on the pay-per-view or on the PLE. As long, there's a time and place for everything, right? The problem with AEW was there was no government. They just, anytime they want to do, they do. Now, at least they have to be like, okay, we have to make it count, quote unquote, right? So, because you got to get pre-approval. Now, how much, like we said, how much of it is going to be enforced? We'll have to wait and see. It could be just he puts this out and then people still do whatever the bloody hell they want and he has no power to say no because he's too nice of a guy.
Yeah.
Okay, two more. Let me get through these things. Any physicality in the crowd or crowd brawling, John Moxley. Any physicality involving refs, managers, extras, celebrities, or special guests. Okay, yeah, I mean this seems like very standard things. In the WWE, this would be super standard, right?
I'm just surprised it took AEW this long to kind of get around to doing it. But maybe this was the issue, right? Like when it was Young Bucks and the Elite running the show, Tony Khan kind of like, okay, fine, you guys do whatever you want. I trust you.
Yeah.
They did whatever they want and it created a reputation.
Well, look what happened now. That's why we get what we get. So now they have to actually follow these rules. Actually, I will be very amused to see like how many of these wrestlers suddenly sour on AEW. Because there's some people just don't like to work with rules because they think that they are better than the rules or what they do is always great,
Let's be clear. Like, I feel like whatever AEW's vision was at the start with the Young Bucks and all that, what they wanted to do, I don't think it panned out the way they wanted as well. So, okay, fine. This whole organization was going to be Tony Khan's plating, but Tony Khan needed the Young Bucks to kind of get in the scene.
Yeah.
So like maybe that's the ruthless part of Tony Khan. Tony Khan's like, I'm gonna be friends with all these big stars. And then once my name is big enough, I'm like, okay, you stay, you go, I don't care. Bye bye.
No, I think he realizes. I mean, you have to give. Okay, I don't believe I'm going to say this.
Let's do it. Let's go.
You have to give him credit. He's coming into this at the top of with billions of dollars with literally zero experience. And he's had to take this ridiculous crash course in an industry that is ultra cutthroat. People will be your best friend and then stab you in the back. We've heard so many stories, right? And he's come in and, I guess in a way done the best he could as a kid with lots of money and all the playthings, right? And now he's like, okay, after I've done this a while, I better listen to the people who know better. And I don't know if it's CM Punk in his ear or whatever, but finally he's pulling it together. So honestly, I don't know if this is even his decision. Maybe it's somebody else's decision.
I mean, I hope like the next pay-per-view that they have, someone's gonna come out and ask him this question, like, oh, okay, how did this thing come about? Are you guys actually implementing it? How are you guys gonna punish the wrestlers who flout the rules?
Stop having press cons like that. Like, that is the other thing. They should just get rid of the press con like that. You know?
Bro, don't take away the one time Tony Khan can be a mark with all his journalists asking him all the fun questions. Come on, let him be lah.
Make himself feel important, Okay.
You know after the show he got no friend, no girlfriend to go home to. He need time to spend with the journalists. Come on.
Don't be so mean. I'm sure he has lots of girlfriends.
Sure.
All right. Which is a very interesting segue into blood and guts. So,
what's the link?
I know, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm sure they've gotten all the approval they need to do whatever they need to do. I wonder if there's a form. I think it would be hilarious if there's a form.
Oh my god, they must sign indemnity form, bro.
No. It's like a form with all the check boxes. Bleeding, tables, brawling in crowd, tick, hand it in. And justification. Please explain why.
Do you think, right, there will be an agent going for in every show, just sitting down at ringside just to make sure they all adhere the rules? They never actually write down one point.
This fellow go and bang the table when he didn't get approval, right?
These are like the LTA parking attendant, bro. But for for AEW.
Yeah. Fias says ROH press con, ha 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 ha.
Oh dear God! Do you see? I posted it on our Instagram, bro.
Yes, I did. And I mean, what do you want? There's like bad community theater, like freaking just you know.
There's cinematic matches, and then now there's cinematic press conferences, bro. Let's go.
I don't even want to talk about it. It's just like, it's just cringe, But anyway, let's now talk about Dynamite that's happening this week, right? So this Wednesday's Dynamite.
Or Thursday morning in
morning
Singapore
for
time.
us. I haven't been following Dynamite. I'll be very honest. I've maybe caught a bit of Collision, very pick and choose lately because I just can't stand watching Dynamite. It's just bad, right? But that being said, apparently these are the matches announced so far. Hook versus Jungle Boy. Have you been following this? I know they've had skits where they just attack each other outside.
Yeah, they just been basically Hook just been like chasing Jungle Boy around. Jungle Boy has been acting like a fuckboy. And Hook has been cutting Gen Z promos. That's the gist of it, essentially.
Gen Z promo? What is a Gen Z promo?
Bro, you never see bro. This is also I posted on our IG story. It's basically he is out on a date with his girl, and then the camera catch him like like the back of the girl, but him in the frame.
Yeah.
And then he's like drinking halfway. Then he's like, Jack. Then he take the title port. I'm done chasing you. You want this? Dynamite. Let's go. It's like a fucking TikTok promo, bro.
Oh my god. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to make any judgment. I haven't seen most of it myself, but it's for the FTW Championship.
Yes, finally FTW Championship is on the line.
Okay, you know what? Jack Perry should win it just to add the heat. He needs the heat now, right? Like he got.
Yeah, he does.
Does he come out with energy?
No, but you know what? I think he should. I think
Yeah.
everyone sees that if he comes out with energy and rub it in everyone's faces, that's a heel heat right there.
Yeah. The Jericho Appreciation Society of Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara versus Adam Cole and MJF. This is part of the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament Final for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Okay, so I have seen all the clips of Adam Cole and MJF and their bromance and everything. What do you think? Should Adam Cole finally turn heel or should MJF turn face? Or should they turn on each other?
Honestly, I really, really like all the teasers that they've been showing.
Yeah.
Of course, objectively, I would say the skits have been entertaining, but to me, it feels like an NXT skit.
Yeah.
Not a WWE skit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But other than that, right? The tease of him like enjoying or starting to warm up to MJF, but then like ignoring Roderick Strong or like trying to explain to Brie, because I like that. Like, what if MJF brings Adam Cole over into the dark side and then alienates his two most trusted people? I think that would be a great storyline development because it's not out of the it will be out of the norm, in my opinion.
Is it a main title sort of storyline though? Like I get exactly what you're saying when you say it feels like an NXT skit. It doesn't feel like a main event like The Rock or Stone Cold or even a Mankind Triple H kind of a skit. It feels like a Intercontinental title skit or NXT title skit,
Yeah. Because I believe MJF doesn't have the right opponent to make it feel like a big deal. Like CM Punk and MJF feels like a world title contender, right?
Is it an Adam Cole problem? As much as we love Adam Cole, recently, I mean, he hasn't been portrayed as anything other than a bit of a mid-carder up until now, I guess.
It's an Adam Cole problem. Let's be honest here, bro. I mean,
do you remember the gym skit that they did where like MJF had lifted like, whoa, how many plates was it? Like 4 plates. He's like, oh yeah, and then the joke is that Adam Cole never go and exercise, never go gym, right? And then he can do it also, but then they zoom in so that you can't see the weight plates anymore. And then for whatever reason, right, his weight's like singit one. So it's almost as if somebody took out the plates while they zoomed in or replaced it or some weird. It was so weird. But I'm like, okay lah, whatever lah. I see where they're going with this.
When was the best Adam Cole was presented, in your opinion?
NXT lah. Obviously, when he had the full, backing of his group and everything, and everyone was a champion in their own right.
Yeah, I felt my favorite Adam Cole was when I think he was challenging, like when he was rotating between Ciampa and Gargano, that 2018 era, and a bit of Aleister Black.
Yep.
Because I felt like he was dangerous, he was conniving. There was this like cerebral, attitude to him. I could see him as a Shawn Michaels regen, 95 Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah.
But now I think he lost all of his edge. Him coming off as a sympathetic guy, it's great, but the great baby faces that we love, right? Even though they're sympathetic, like they're badass or like
Yes. Yeah.
something about them, like okay, I'm still gonna support freaking like Rob Van Dam or like Booker T because they're baby faces, but they could kick their ass. But the Adam Cole suffers from the problem of just his believability.
Oh, just come out and say it, bro. You think you can kick Adam Cole's ass? That's what you're trying to say.
I don't think I can. Come on, Mr. Young.
That's exactly what you're saying. Foreign versus Adam Cole, baby, for SPW event. Let's go.
Winner gets Britt Baker. Then I'm down. Let's go. Let's go.
Don't clip this and don't send it to Foreign's girlfriend, huh?
Bro, I need a dentist lah. I need someone to do my dental appointment. What
You get Britt Baker as a dentist. I understand now.
Of
Okay,
course.
okay.
What are you talking about?
But okay, so that being said, right? Obviously, wait, is this the finals?
This is the finals, yes, because Blackguards is apparently it's like a big dynamite in Boston TD Garden, right. So I think...
okay lah, Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara are not freaking winning this. Let's be real.
Yeah lah, but MJF and Adam Cole winning and then challenging FTR. So yeah. I'm apparently that's where you're gonna go. What's gonna happen next? Of course, you're gonna blow off somehow in, I don't know, all out. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I'm excited to see that match, Adam Cole and MJF versus FTR, right? But this can only lead to FTR beating Adam Cole and MJF. What? Like, what?
FTR beating that clearly makes sense, and then that will cause like MJF to turn on Adam or the other way around.
Yeah, blame him and then all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But Tony Khan might go the other way around, where Adam Cole fully turns heel, abandons all his friends, join the dark side, and both of them win the title.
And they become like this super group, like two-man power trip almost, right? Like Adam Cole is a champion, MJF is a champion, they're champions together. And then what, have Adam Cole win the international championship over... Is it still Orange Cassidy?
It is still Orange Cassidy, yes.
But, dude, have that redemption match where Adam Cole decimates Orange Cassidy. How about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, bro. But they are less of a two-man power trip, more of a 2.5-man power trip.
Once again, Foreign calling out Adam Cole, calling him half a man, bro. What is up with that?
Bro, I'm not saying. I just said MJF is 2 men, and then MJF and then Adam Cole is half a man. Is correct.
Oh, I'm trying to get that match going, bro. Can
you stop starting feuds for me for no reason?
I want this to be a real thing. Adam Cole versus Foreign, baby.
Yeah, we already have a feud with Kurt Tay. Don't start other feuds, please,
Bro, for us to have a feud with Kurt Tay, I would have to give a flying crap about Kurt Tay, which I do not. So let's not even go there.
Young is gonna slap the bejesus out of this.
Oh my god. Okay, there you go. That's the other match, and then the main event. Obviously, yes. Right? Blackpool Combat Club. The members, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Konosuke Takeshita. Wait, no, hang on. Takeshita is part of BCC now? Or he
is according to Wikipedia, a BCC affiliate.
Oh, BCC affiliate? Why is Pac back? Explain, Pac.
Okay, clearly you didn't watch Dynamite, so I shall give you some context.
Yes, go.
Yeah, actually, I can't explain it. He just randomly came back.
He's like, okay, this is my once a year appearance on AEW. Might as well come back for this match.
Okay. At the main event of Dynamite last week, they announced all their mystery partners, right?
Yeah.
And BCC, had a mystery partner, and they brought back Pac. And then the commentators explained how Pac had like a long history with Kenny Omega, which makes sense. Yeah, 2019 when AEW first started out, that was like the first feud. That's fine. But my understanding is, wasn't he in a babyface trios group with Death Triangle before this? Before he disappeared for a long time?
Correct.
And then maybe they could have explained like, the Elite beat the Death Triangle in their series of matches, and then that's why Pac wants revenge. Fine, that would have made sense. But this is me jumping to the conclusions. AEW didn't explain it to me.
Of course, they never explain it, bro. More often than not, it's Excalibur just oh my god, doing his machine gun commentary bullshit, right?
Speedy Gonzalez.
Okay, so I'll say it again. Mox, Claudio, Yuta, Take a Shit, and Pac, with Don Callis, of course, in the corner, versus The Golden Shower Elite. I mean, the Golden Elite.
Hey, bro, stop with the golden shower, bro.
The Golden Elite Shower, Golden Shower Elites, or whatever.
Where does the shower come in? Tell me.
Well, all of them get together in the locker room. Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Kota Ibushi. Okay, I get the connection. Kota Ibushi, did they announce him on Dynamite, and did Excalibur nut in his pants when they revealed it?
Of course he did. But that's not even surprising. I mean, Kota Ibushi, of course, great, right? You know,
Sure.
history, Kenny Omega, fine. We've seen him in WWE's Cruiserweight Classic. He's great. We've seen him do crazy shit in New Japan where he land on his neck. That's not so great.
No.
But he left New Japan under a cloud of controversy, if you remembered.
I don't follow it. Tell me.
So he became a free agent early this year, but he was out with his injury and he was like on the sidelines, right? I think he was putting out a whole series of tweets talking shit about New Japan's management, bro.
Whoa.
Bro, this is like legit allegation, like saying something like they are grooming young talent, like grooming, not grooming.
Not grooming, but
grooming.
In the negative sense, really?
Yeah, like some weird sex abuse shit going on. I don't know. Just some freaky shit going on in New Japan. He called them out for it, and like for some reason the whole issue was swept under the rug, or they never address it. But Ibushi asked for his release because of it, and then he got it. So
it brings a new light to the term "golden lovers."
Bro, I have no idea what's the story. Somebody in the chat who is more well versed in New Japan story, their news, please explain to me the Kota Ibushi like controversy or something like that.
Yeah.
But basically, remember there was a period where he was primed to be like their world title champion. Like they push him to the moon, beat Okada, blah blah blah, win New Japan Cup. But then, he just fizzled out, which is very very sus, right?
Yeah.
But then ever since then, he announced like his intention is to eventually wrestle and link up with Kenny Omega. AEW.
So is he gonna? Did they do the whole Kota Ibushi is all elite bullshit, or is this just a one-off first?
I think it's a one-off first. They only have 1 week to explain their backstory, which is already. Which is par.
This is par for the course when it comes to AEW. They're not gonna explain shit to you. They're like, we expect you to know because we are AEW. Oh, I know. We know that you are very atas wrestlers, viewers who know everything about everybody.
They will be like, educate yourself. Go Google it. You know.
Yeah. Step to our level. Be a man of culture. Anyway, so Omega and Ibushi, they are the golden lovers. Whatever. At least I know that, but I'm sure most of the people don't know that.
Okay, I'm not against them because remember that one time we sat and watched a Young Bucks versus Golden Lovers match, they were a good tag team, right?
Yeah,
they were a good tag team. But they are in their 40s now, both of them.
Yeah. And with these restrictions, I wonder if like we said is this a case of everybody else cannot do but they can do?
Well, they have to kind of prove to everyone. Like, okay, if they're gonna set the standard and like, you know what, we're gonna do a great blood and guts match without any of these issues, we're gonna adhere to all the restrictions.
Yeah.
Then that might be like, okay, they're setting the standard.
But these people, like we know these people, like they can't help it. I'm looking at the list of people, right? The Bucks and Mox. Just those three out of the bunch, they are going to do whatever the flying F they want.
Okay, bro. Let's do a very safe bet, bro. Very safe bet, bro.
Okay.
I treat you to Prata at Thompson, bro. If Moxley bleeds.
So that's free Prata lah. Okay, cool.
No, Joe, you know why? Because I really want to see them try to really adhere to the rules.
It's not going to happen. The bleeding can, but got to seek permission, and I'm sure they'll seek permission. Like, I'm sure they'll be like, okay lah, this is a cage match must bleed so they will bleed lah, like, it's just how many of them will bleed, who's gonna land on their neck, whatever. And you got Kota Ibushi who's in as like a guest. Do you think he will adhere to the rules? No, he just wrestle his own match, what?
Who's gonna like, enforce the rules? That's number one. Secondly, there's no Chris Jericho in this match, which is great because the first 3 iterations is just all him, either him flying off or somebody throwing him off, right? So is there going to be somebody jumping off the cage? Is there somebody going to be bleeding? Those things would happen on a normal episode, so I won't be surprised. But because of these new rules, I might actually just watch the match and try to see where this will happen.
Do you think that's why they released the rules before? They're like, okay, we know, like this shit has been done to death already. We do the same stuff all the time, so now we throw in a wrinkle: rules.
Oh wow, okay. So
And here's the thing. This is a perfect example of rules can work in a storyline advantage. Like, if you have rules, there's a reason to break them. There's consequence to breaking rules now. As opposed to no rules and everybody do whatever the hell they want.
yeah, you brought up a great point, Mr. Young. Like, that's why I love having rules, even in like a kayfabe scenario, right?
Yes.
Because that will fit into the storyline. If you, like you said, the heel chooses to break it, if the babyface chooses to adhere to it, honorable as such.
Yes,
So, yeah,
yes.
it's great.
Yeah, exactly. A heel cannot be a heel if everything is allowed. Then
Yeah.
if everything is allowed, then the babyface is stupid for not taking advantage, right?
Stupid fucking populist, this guy.
No, must whisper, bro, when you say those words.
Fucking populist.
Fia says summarized version is Ibushi calling up the higher ups for sexually harassing wrestlers and all, but the NJPW higher ups are firing him because he appeared on unscheduled events outside New Japan. Oh, so like the higher ups never say anything lah, but they fire him for other reasons.
They use an excuse.
The Shadow says those are TK drinking game rules, all the rules.
Oh dear God.
Okay, so just back to this from a storyline perspective, right? Is this a blow-off match or is this a middle of the feud match? Because
Oh dear God, I hope it's a blow-off match.
no,
Oh,
here's
God.
the thing with AEW's track record, you never know, right? They've had these like big blood and gut match, and then next week they go and have more matches. Like the feud doesn't end.
Let's be clear, bro.
Uh,
Just between John Moxley and Hangman Adam Page, they started this feud back in Full Gear last year, 2022, November.
yeah.
They had a lights out match, if you recall,
Yeah.
at AEW Revolution,
Mhm.
and then it exploded to become this all-encompassing faction war, right?
Yeah.
And they had their first anarchy in the arena between the BCC and the Elite,
Yeah.
and then Forbidden Door, they had another match, and then now this is going to be the third rubber match. So, please, dear God, the entire year they have been feuding. Let this die, please.
And it's not like they've been feuding and it's been exciting or interesting, right? It's been just like, oh, okay, these two again.
I don't know who is more cold right now, them or Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, bro. Like, it's between the two of them.
Okay, I still want to watch Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. What are you talking about?
But Cody Rhodes gave a very funny line in his promo last week, bro.
What do you say?
I still have no idea why Brock Lesnar wants to attack me. He still hasn't explained to me why. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
No idea why this feud is even a thing, but
Well,
I will still watch that over BCC versus the Elite lah.
right. So yeah, to your point, you're right. Actually, like it's morbid curiosity out of everything to see whether they can adhere to these quote unquote rules or how it
Yeah.
will be enforced, more than actually wanting to watch this match, which is hilarious in its own right. So
It is. Can I say, right? Like, I know we are talking in a downer terms, but on a positive note, right?
yeah.
And we didn't mention it because we talked about Collision 2 briefly. Like, the Owen Hart winners, of course, Ricky Starks. Willow Nightingale has been impressing me, to be really, really honest. I really like her style, and she is one of the few AEW women that I feel has a connection with the audience.
Yes.
We haven't talked about it because we haven't been on air last week as well.
Mm.
To me, if you had watched Bullet Club Go versus FTR these last 2 weeks,
Oh, okay.
bro, they are long matches, but I felt like it was an NXT throwback, bro. It felt like Revival versus DIY. You gotta take away some time to watch this last 2 weeks worth of matches between the two of them.
But bro, how many stars did Dave Meltzer give that match?
Fuck lah, they will never give 5 stars to FTR. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's something to put on the watch list, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so like you said, like just not to wrap things up on the downer, but yeah, these rules, if anything, will make the product better, more watchable, less access. Like we've talked about, AEW is too much about everyone doing anything they want. Too much access already. Too much of a good thing, right? Quote unquote. So it's good that they have a little bit more of rules, and maybe they'll learn and they'll start building stars because, oh my God, God forbid they have to use their personality to get over as opposed to doing stupid stunts over and over and over again.
Well, I hope for their sake, like this brings them up to another level. Like this is the more to help them become more professional, right?
Exactly. And then you have
Yeah.
the good stuff happening on Collision. I did mention about like they are in a really bad spot because you know that weekend where they went up against WWE Money in the Bank, their
Yeah.
ratings were just damn bad.
Yeah, it was less than 500,000 or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
like they dropped by so much, and you know, half of the show was nonsense anyway. Every time they have a pay-per-view to promote, then you're going to see like the Dynamite nonsense on Collision, right? So it's, to me, it's an issue, and I don't know if a full hard brand split is the answer or what.
Well, they decided to put it on a Saturday, knowing all the issues that will come with it, right? Knowing that they might have to cross promote with a WWE event, UFC, blah blah blah, whatnot. But the one that pushed for this show to be shown was the CEO of Warner, right?
Right.
David Zaslav, right?
Yeah.
So I feel it's not really about the ratings that matter.
Okay.
I think it's about getting the key demo, which actually still remain relatively strong,
Okay.
even though the overall views are not. I feel like their baseline going forward, right? They are just going to hit like 600, 700,000. They're going to be like lesser than Dynamite, but more than Rampage. I think that's their level. But there was a period, remember back in the SmackDown days of Here Comes the Pain, that era, right?
Yeah.
SmackDown was consistently doing less than Raw, but it was still the better show.
Yes. So maybe this could be the same vibe, lah.
Yeah, I feel like Collision is going to be the work rate show. It's going to be they won't have the SmackDown 6, but it seems to be that the Collision 6 is building out, right? You got FTR, Bullet Club Gold, CM Punk, Samoa Joe. This is going to be like the main guys where the whole show revolves around. And I think that's fine. I think they are going to prove that there is an audience who supports this, and they so now Tonika is going to get the best of both worlds, because last time he tried to cater to the elite only, drive away all the audience. But now he's going to get both, but the audience is split. But technically, it's still both watching AEW.
Sure. No, I mean, a good sign for things to come, lah, I guess is what we're saying. There you go.
Overall, I think AEW will always have its problems. We all have identified what are the problems. It's whether you want to choose to get upset over it or just make a joke about it.
Well, and we've done all the jokes we can here on the show today. So everybody, we say thank you so much for hanging out with us here on this Tuesday afternoon. We appreciate you so very much. And of course, if you haven't already, come join our Discord to continue the conversation. You know, there's always a lively chat about something over in WWE, AEW, New Japan, local wrestling as well, which is hotting up. A lot of events are coming soon, also right here in Singapore.
Yes, indeed. Of course, SPW, if you heard the news, they are back this August, and they're bringing a former WWE superstar, Yoshitatsu.
Yoshitatsu! Is he going to come up to the funny music? Remember he had the like goofy music?
I just remember him from ECW, new ECW days.
Oh, gosh. We don't talk about new ECW, bro.
We don't talk about them.
WWECW, right?
We don't talk about Bruno as well. Yeah.
Okay, so that being said, as always, we say thank you so much for watching the stream. Of course, you can always catch the podcast, the audio version, if you don't want to see our faces. Be sure to follow us on our social media platforms as well, on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook. We're most active on Instagram, lah, basically.
Yeah, and for sure, make sure you guys check out next week, because you're probably going to start preview SummerSlam. SummerSlam is right around the corner.
Ooh.
So far. So SummerSlam is going to be right around the corner. We have some local wrestlings coming up, whether it's Grapple Max, SPW. We might even have somebody come on the show pretty soon.
Hey,
so
NXT is doing Great American Bash soon, if I'm not mistaken.
I see. So yeah, we probably can talk about Great American Bash next week. It might be happening this weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, so a lot of wrestling news, I think, heating up to the end of the summer. We will try to go back to a regularly scheduled program, because I believe my reservation is like halfway into August, so we're gonna have a good stretch where the next 3-4 weeks we're still gonna be there every Tuesday, but we're gonna have to take another break after that.
Okay, well, I mean, just stay tuned to our channels. We'll update you there, lah. But that being said, okay, everybody, enjoy your Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. We love you all. As always, it is Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Take care.
Let me see you try.